Hello everyone, it's Miss Tyler here, and I'm going to be taking you through our assemblies this term. Now, last term, I'm hoping that you can remember what our assembly theme was. Take a minute to think. Now, our assembly theme last term was all about perseverance. And I absolutely loved those assemblies because I got to see all of the things that you'd persevered with, like doing cartwheels and handstands, learning to sing or play the ukulele. And you shared and showcased some of those things in assembly with us. It was absolutely brilliant. But we've got a new term theme, and that theme I would like you to guess. So I'm going to put some pictures on screen, and using these pictures, I'd like you to think what this term's theme is all about. Now, hopefully you can guess the theme is trust. So in the top left-hand corner, we've got the parachuting pair. The one man needs to trust in the other, his instructor, and they also both need to trust that the parachute will work. We've also got a visually impaired lady in the bottom left corner who's trusting in her guide dog to lead her along the pavement safely. And then finally, we've got the human pyramids, all trusting in each other to make sure they do their part in that pyramid so that they don't fall and crash to the ground. So lots of examples of trust there. What does the word trust actually mean? I'd like you to have a little think and consider a dictionary definition for the word trust. Now, if you look in the dictionary, the word trust actually means a firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something. That's quite complicated to understand, isn't it? And there's a lot of big words there. So as we go through our assemblies this term, we will unpick what trust means, what it means to trust someone, what we can do if somebody breaks our trust or we break someone's trust. As we go through, we will look at all of those things. Now, to start with, I started to think about one of my favourite films, Finding Nemo. Now, Finding Nemo has a theme of trust running throughout. If we go to the start of the film, if you're not too familiar with it, right at the start, we have a clownfish called Marlin who is afraid of the ocean because of some previously bad things that have happened to him. And he has a son called Nemo. And unfortunately, near the beginning of the film, his son Nemo is taken by divers. So Marlin has to set off on a mission to try and bring his son home safely. Now, on his journey to try and find his son, Marlin meets another fish called Dory. Now, Dory is a blue tang fish with a very short memory. And Dory tags along on the journey with Marlin, much to Marlin's annoyance. However, they soon become friends. Now, unlike Marlin, Dory has very little fear, and Marlin struggles to follow what Dory says or trust in Dory at the start of the film. And there are several times when Marlin's lack of trust in Dory result in them getting hurt or not finding their way. And one of those examples is when Dory tells Marlin that he's been told by a shoal of fish, to swim along a trench, not over it. So she takes Marlin and she says, "Trust me, let's go and swim through this trench." However, the route along the trench looks dark and frightening, so Marlin is reluctant to go and decides to try and persuade Dory to swim over the trench, not through it. And you can see here that leads to trouble along the way because they end up in a jellyfish bloom, which is a huge mass of jellyfish. And Doreen very nearly loses her life after she gets stung by lots of the jellyfish. And she's left with scars from this encounter. And Marlin realises he should have trusted her. So let's just take a moment to think. Marlin found it really hard to trust what Dory was saying. Why is it sometimes difficult for some people to trust others? Have a little think. Now, I came up with some different examples here of why it's difficult to trust. So, perhaps you've had a bad experience before with somebody, and perhaps you've told them a secret and they've told somebody else, so they've broken your trust. Perhaps they've lied to you when they've trusted or you've trusted them to do something. Perhaps you've given them an expensive item or something that you treasure and is precious to you and they've broken it. Or perhaps simply you just don't know that person very well, so you don't know if you can or can't trust them yet because you haven't known them long enough. Now, even though we might have doubts in trusting people, it is really important that we do have people that we can trust. So I want you to think now, why do we need people in our lives that we can trust? Think of some reasons. So here are some of the reasons that I came up with that hopefully you can read on screen as to why it's important to have trusted people in your life. We all need someone to talk to. Adults need somebody to talk to, children need somebody to talk to, teenagers need somebody to talk to. They're going to be able to help you, guide you in life, perhaps help you solve problems that you might have, dilemmas in your life, situations where you don't know what to do. Sometimes we just needed a trusted person in our life that we can share our thoughts and worries with. Oh, I've been thinking this lately, or I've been worrying about this. And just by having that person there to talk to and to listen to you, some of your problems and things that you're worried about will seem far less. And in the film, when Dory and Marlin continue on their journey to find Nemo, eventually Marlin realizes he has to trust Dory. He realizes that they're friends and Dory wants the best for him, even if she is a little bit forgetful. And because Marlin puts his trust in Dory, eventually, hooray, he's reunited with his son Nemo, all thanks to Dory and Dory's help. Now, there's lots of other examples of trust throughout the film. The trust between father and son, the trust between friends. So I would like you, if you have watched the film before, to have a little chat with your parents about the themes of trust that run throughout. Or if you can think of any other examples of books or films you've read where trust has played a big part in the story. And I'd also like you, finally, to have a think about who your trusted adults are. Or, not necessarily adults, who are your trusted people in your life? Now, I've made a little list here of people that we might trust in life. So it might be medical staff, doctors, nurses, paediatricians who we trust to make us better. If we're not feeling very well, we trust them to give us the right medication. Our parents are always or usually a support for us in life. We can share our worries and concerns with them. and trust that they're going to give us the best advice to guide us through life. I know I always go and speak to my mum or call my mum when I need to talk about something. Staff in school, your teachers, and even though you're at home at the moment, we're still going to be checking in on you and making sure that you're okay, calling your parents, having drop-in sessions via Teams, messaging on the Teams app if you need us. We are here for you. Obviously, you can also call Childline if you need an external adult that you need to talk to, and the number's there on screen. And finally, other family and friends, maybe our aunties, uncles, grandparents, our friends who we normally chat to in school. We can still reach out to them using our messaging systems and make sure that they're okay. So that concludes our assembly for this week and gives us a little taster of what trust is all about and why it's important that we trust people in life. And next week, we'll start to think about what happens when perhaps we break people's trust and how we can build that trust back up if that happens. But for now, goodbye, take care, keep logging on to Teams and make sure that you're doing your remote learning. And we miss you and we wish that you stay safe. Bye bye.